Interrupted on my last video. I couldn't even finish talking about what I was talking about. Said somebody barging at my door. So I'm gonna go back in and go ahead and explain Devil and how it actually works. So let's go do that. And while I'm waiting on that, I'll go ahead and explain a constructor build that you can use depending on which constructors you have available. But if you're running something like Endurance, let alone hosting it, you should have all the proper builds. So this is a Mega Base, Kyle. Once you get him, which you can get him from the collection book, he unlocks supercharged traps. Now this is extremely handy in many situations, because for every constructor on your team, it gives you an 8.5% damage boost on every trap that your base actually touches and affects. And then on top of that, you want Lofty Architecture, which is from base Kyle, for building health, power modulation, which is healing, hotfix, building repair speed that can help you in situations. Your faster explosions, that's what I use because I like to use launchers during Endurance, just to throw husk or primarily smashers around off walls. Okay, and then I have Frozen Castle. Because on Mega Base, he has so many tiles that he affects that you should be using this just to slow them down more, especially when it comes to recycling. I said in the previous video, I always use slow field and I always use a banner when running Endurance, okay? If you don't have a Mega Base, that's fine. You can go with a base Kyle, alright? But it's pretty much the same thing. You just want to run with something like Blast from the Past so you have more health. You still, if you don't have Mega Base, you can throw on something else that you want for, say, damage or utility-wise, maybe a Fleetfoot Kin just to move around. But other than that, you still want Pyro Modulation for healing. And these are the two dinosaurs that I use for Blast from the Past. You don't have to. I do like Saurian Might for damage, and of course, faster explosions. If you're running multiple constructors, you need to communicate with your team who has what on each build. Because if you're running a base Kyle and your friend is running a base Kyle, well, the commander perk ability for the base is only going to affect those tiles that the base itself actually affects. So that won't stack. But if your buddy, if you're using base Kyle for the structure health, and your buddy comes in with a power modulation from Nox, and he has Lofty Architecture from base Kyle on his support, then yes, you will get your boost for the 84% health on the structure, and the boost from the 24 or 28% coming from your buddy, right? So that's how that actually stacks. That's why you need to communicate who has what. So like if somebody was going to come in with Machinist, if they're coming in with Machinist, it should be the host, because only the traps that are placed, durability is affected by whoever is running that. Tough traps for the durability. So if your friend comes in while you're host with Machinist, only the traps he ends up placing later on will be affected by the durability bonus. But I do want to head back to Devil and explain that, because I didn't get to do that last time. I didn't explain it. I got cut off, so. I'm going to go ahead and start with a block off though, okay? You want to have these 3 cones. Do not put a tile here. Just don't do it. You need them to walk up on this half or on this part. So place 3 floors if you want. You can come to the front of your amplifier and go 1, 2, 3, and those are the 3 with cones. And then 3 half walls, okay? With 4 cones and floors on top of that. And yes, those do have ceiling gas under them. And from that, once you have these 4 cones, just go up 4 more and 4 floors more. So place a cone and a floor, 4 more tiles up, okay? And that's the general block off for that side, and it's fine. Place 1 tile here, 1 floor, and then you come over with more floors and just line this with floors. Both sides, okay? Just line it with floors, these 2 tiles, so it should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It should be 2 tiles wide by 7 long. Place your wall for your wall launcher, another wall, wall launcher, sound wall, okay? And then over here, you want to put a 4x2. So there's 2 tiles, there's 2 tiles, okay? Once you come up this ridge, line this wall with walls. So wall, 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 okay? And there is a wall right here. See, these are the outside walls I was telling you to place, okay? One in front of your cone, one right here. That's this, okay? This is a block off. This is the block off for up here, just for these tiles here in the front. Let me switch. I'm done. Okay, so you've got your cones and your floors with these walls placed. You should have your timeout room done. Your timeout room's done now, and that first block off right here. And so there's 1 wall, 2 wall, 3 wall, 4 wall. Those were the 4 walls I was telling you to place. Now up here at the beginning, there is a random spawn up here, okay? Either right here in front. Just line this wall, 1 tile, 2 tiles, and let them drop in. Just leave that ramp right there. Add 1 more ramp on top of that. Okay, so this is coming in, the drop in. 1 tile, 2 tile. Remember I said come up 1 more tile. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tiles long. Okay, then come down 1, 2, 1, 2 more tiles. Alright, so now you should have this side done with these cones, this block off. Your timeout rooms are done. This tile, if you want to add it onto the side of right here, of this ramp, that is the most effective place to place your base in case you have propaners explode, or your buddy goes in, propaners explode, or something happens. It's not on the floor where they are, right? It's up above where it's not going to get damaged, right? You just drop down, I mean, as you can see. So you should have that all built by now, alright? Built, not trapped, okay? You should have your timeout rooms, your 4 rooms, right? Your pathing, the drop down with that lobber shield. Alright, so we'll get down to this, okay? We'll get down to this side build under here. This is one of the main pathways. And ever since they made it to where you can't put the tiles down here, you have no secure way to fully block that off and keep them from coming that way. If a streamer or someone has a build like that, I'd actually like to actually just go see it. I don't want it for myself. Honestly, I don't like builds like that, but that would be kind of cool just to be able to see that side is fully blocked off and you can path them all the way around or something. That would be cool. But anyways, getting to my build. So this wall is starting off where a lava bomb shift is, okay, which is right in these tiles. So it actually drops about this corner, and in order to get it to shift right there, instead of right in here breaking all this, leave this tile blank, right, which is right here in front of this wall because you can't place a tile there, okay. This tile is blank. Make 1 floor tile, 1 in front, 2 over. So just make a big L, like a backwards L, okay? And leave that tile blank. It's going to come out here. Now you're safe to place this wall, okay? So you can place this wall, 1, 2, 3, 4 sound walls, okay? 4 sound walls. Make sure this wall is in front of it and it's a wall light. If this is not a wall light, it needs to be a single reload maxed durability with building health sound wall so that it is offset. That's the only other thing you can do in that situation. Don't put a dynamo there. Definitely do not put a wall launcher there. Don't put a wall launcher there, because if you do, they knock them down, and there's too many husks in between here. Well, propaners have nowhere to go. They'll explode. If there's too many propanes in one spot, they're going to blow this tile up. If this tile blows up, you get your lava bomb shifting in. If your lava bomb shifts in, well, say goodbye to all of this right here. That, and these two tiles. Okay, and then all you have is a couple tiles to recycle them, and then they're already in your damage build, and you don't want that on that side. Trust me. Right, so getting back. As you see, once we enter, these are the traps. 1, 2, they are gas traps. Now, you can use 130s. I just happen to have 136s because a buddy crafted a bunch for me. Gave me a bunch of stuff. Anyways, that was cool. He's someone I used to help with endurance a lot. Anyway, so you got these two coming in. You got one more. Place one under these floors, okay? So once you come in, these two, line the next row. Okay, line the next row. And then right here, where this corner is, this sound wall, just place one in front. You don't need to go off to the side anymore. Because this is why. It's all about their pathing. Some of them are going to go straight through. That's obvious. Some of them will actually, because they spawn back there, will walk up through here. Walk up through here and come along. But once they get here, or even if they're about here, they're going to start coming down to this corner, and they're not going to go up there no more. Because that's not where their pathing is. Okay? And even if they were, it's probably like 1/10 of that corner. I don't know, maybe, if that, of what they would want to hit. Because this is their general shortest route. They're not going to walk an extra tile around just to, you know, say get to a corner and come out the other end, right? You take sharp cuts around corners, not wide turns. And then fill the rest of this with gas. So only those two tiles in this main corner and this one right here on the very end of your last timeout room up there does not have gas. Dynamo, dynamo. Wall, dynamo. Okay, let's go get into the other build. Remember, all this is laid out. You should have all of that over the built. You should have the lobber shield built and the front built along with these cones. So I should just be needing to explain the recycler and my amplifier now. And I've never streamed before, so I'm sorry if it's not good. I'm just trying to give a basic explanation, because this is a build I've been using for an extremely long time, and even though they've changed spawns and locations and power level, I haven't had much issue with anything really. So for all the people that are saying like it's getting impossible to do now they increase the power level, there's nothing I can do about anything, well, I'm trying to show you a way that there is a way to deal with all of these things with little complication. So you've got your sound walls and all of that placed, okay? You should be coming over here to the recycler now, where you started your lava bomb shift to make sure you can place these walls, which is what we did before. So leave this tile blank, place the sound wall, or sorry, wow, wall launcher, and place wooden floor spikes. Preferably something that's not based around a damage build, or maybe if you got like a 106 or 82, go ahead and place that. It's just because you don't want to spawn, you don't want to kill a bunch of the little husklings, the little guys, because they don't have much health at all. You don't want to kill a bunch of them and get a lot more propaners or something to come through, right? You want to deal with that as little as possible. So these wooden floor spikes, they don't hardly have any damage on them. They've got like, I think these were the ones I have 3 durability on, and that's it. I don't even think I god rolled the other 2 perks. Anyways, it's just to slow them down through the recycler. So keep in mind that anytime I use a floor launcher by a wall launcher, the wall launchers are triple impact, double reload with 1 durability. The floor launchers are quadruple impact, 1 reload with a durability. Okay? And that's so that the timers are offset, and by offset, this is what I mean. So we can come look, right? This is a quadruple wall launcher. Keep in mind, wall launchers and floor launchers have the exact same reload speed, so I'm just going to show you one type of trap. This wall launcher has 1 reload speed. It has a 5.6 second reload time. This wall launcher is double reload, triple impact, okay? So it's got 2 reload speeds. The reload time is 4.3 seconds, meaning that because it has a second reload, it's about a second and a half almost faster than the previous trap, meaning that once it gets activated and launches, it's going to take another 4.3 seconds to reset. That means that while it's resetting after 1 so seconds, your other floor launcher, because they have the same reload speeds, remember the floor launchers and wall launchers are the same reload speed, but your floor launcher is going to have 1 reload speed. It's going to go ahead and go off about a second after that activates to catch anything right behind it. And then it's just going to keep going in a line. They'll keep landing out here. However, these last 2 tiles, remember, 4 impacts, 4 tiles, comes up 1 tile, up another tile, out 1, and out another. It will land right about here. So the furthest they're going to recycle is out here. But because everything keeps landing in these tiles, you're going to keep everything dancing, stunned. A lot of propane is going to build up in this tile right here away from their main pathway. Once you get past the recycler, which is 4 tiles long, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry. Damn screen. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is where the damage starts. Where the damage starts, make sure that this wall launcher is triple impact. It needs to launch 3 tiles. So it's got to be God rolled. It's going to launch them 3 tiles into this timeout room. So it's going to get hit once by the wall darts once it sits here. It's going to get hit by the gas. It's going to get launched in here, get hit by darts again in a couple seconds, hit by the sound wall once it lands here, retractables, dynamos, that. By the time it gets back here, it's going to get stunned. And then it's going to get hit with darts again. And it's getting hit by this gas. So they're not making it through, and they're not going to attack this wall. They will walk all the way back around. The reason why I don't have a wall launcher here with this tar pit is because I don't want things to have a lot of damage be thrown back out here, like propaners, get launched back out here and explode. Because when they explode out here, if any of this or this tile gets deleted, well, then the lava ball is shifting. Then I've got rebuilding to do. And if I'm at the beginning of a round, I don't want to deal with all that. Anyways, coming back out, so you've got, remember I always say the last 2 to 4 tiles should be tar pits. And that's for smashers and any husk trying to escape. So I've got this wall light and gas, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ceilings that they're having to come through to take damage before they can exit. But after this room, it's a tar pit and 1 tar pit with a wall launcher, a dynamo, and of course more gas. This has a lot of gas in it. And they're coming up this way to get hit by that dynamo. This wall dart, remember it shoots 6 tiles, so it's shooting all the way over here. It's clearing all of that. So all the little guys, they're pretty much dead before they'll ever make it out there. You're only worrying about maybe a couple of propaners, a possible flinger, and maybe 1 or 2 smashers during the entire time Devil has ever hit over here. And you're just gonna make sure that when you're standing over here, because they want to come up here. They want to take more damage, and if they're not going to die from that damage right then get launched to about right here into that lava bomb on about this tile. How do they do that? Because it's triple impact. 1, 2, 3, but you're coming down an entire tile. So add a tile. Here you go. And that's how you also tell where your floor launchers are going to land. That's how you tell where how much impact you have on a wall launcher and where are the husks going to land. Now, I'm not talking about smashers falling off a ledge. I'm talking about how far it's going to be able to throw a propaner or a mist monster. That's what I need to know when I'm building. That's how I know, because I've built so much. And so 3 impacts, 3 tiles. Same thing with floor launchers, okay? Just keep that in mind. So if you were to have, say, a floor launcher right here on this tile, right, with a ramp right above it, you would say, okay, it's going up one tile, it's going up one more tile to hit the ramp, and then it's coming out, and it's coming out. And so this is how you know that it's going to land. It's because once it's already up one, it's still got to come out one. So with 4 impacts on your floor, it's landing on the 4th tile. But if there's a ledge and it goes down one tile, you have to add another tile. And then you have to add another tile if it goes down after that. That's how you tell where something's going to land when you're using impact-related traps. And so this is a side most of the smashers are going to come through, because it's the most open side, less traveled place for them. And it doesn't get used that much, but it's extremely effective, especially when it comes to smashers. They're going to get slowed down right a little bit, and that's when the damage is going to start applying. But every time that they get launched over here, because they're hugging the inside of the wall, because that's where the exit is, right there, it's along this wall, so they're hugging the inside of here naturally. I don't need to add those little tiles like this, right? I don't got to add tiles like that, because they're already walking on this inside. So they're getting hit by that gas, this retractable. They're going to get knocked in this room, hit by that gas. The sound wall won't have enough impact to do anything to them at the time. So they're going to get hit by all this, and it's going to happen time after time. Every other one when their impact is getting maxed out. Especially if there's 2 together, that's just grand for you. But by the time they get to the end, they should have almost no health. And if they do make it to the end, they should be almost deleted. Because you're right about here in the middle of these 2 tiles is about where they want to charge. And they always charge at this little computer. Just leave this tile here, they'll charge on that other side. Or if you want, you can place a tile over here. So after their initial charge, they have something else to charge after. Just keep in mind that you need to keep at least 1 tile close to your base for them to charge at, or focus on attacking. So if they don't start charging into your base and destroying things, you don't want to deal with any of that, right? Also, this isn't a wall launcher, because many little guys, they don't travel this way most of the time. And this is just, remember how I said it'll activate in 3 but shoot 6? So we're on the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Starting at the very first time out room, every time something enters here, that's going to go off. And I don't know if you've ever actually looked at those traps, but they actually do mass amounts of damage. I mean, look at this. It's got 60k and I'm on a solo with 1 damage. But I mean, look at that critical hit damage. It's almost 3 times the normal base damage. And since it pierces through enemies and can actually shoot 6 tiles, I mean, it's doing all kinds of damage to anything, especially a crowd. What is it, a 4.2 second reload? I mean, that's nice. And they have a lot of durability. These traps are way underrated, and ever since they got redone, they've been even better. I can't believe they didn't change the reload speed on them. That's just kind of nutty to me. But y'all do whatever you want. And that's all I really got. I believe I explained that build in the last video. And I covered all this. And that's what leads to your B build, is right on that other side. Well, it's my B build. The only thing you've ever got to occasionally worry about with any of these builds is this one right here. Because if you have a friend that don't know what he's doing, he keeps coming into your tones, you can cause Husk to go in bad places. You can cause them to go places you don't want. Like if you got friends out messing around, you can literally cause off this build them to want to walk out here. And want to walk all the way around your devil. All the way out here to this ramp. And walk all the way up this backside. Just to your amplifier. Just to attack you or your amplifier because you got a friend off messing around looking at things, or he wants to come stand and look at something else when you're in the middle of an endurance run, which is considered one of the hardest contents in the game, you know. But for this build, I like to do this wall edited, and I'll show you why. Okay? But this is where you want to stand. This is just by your amplifier on the exit. That's the safest point. For your home base, safest points. Stand on your home base. You're facing north, or if the north is getting attacked, come stand by your north. Then stand by your east if that's getting attacked. As far as A, I already showed for my A where the safe point is to stand. Right? It's just right here on this corner. That way if I've got anything coming out and I'm worried about, I can shoot. Or if I know I'm going to have problems, I can go throw them down my slow field real quick, because I can already see in the end of my tunnel. You can also stand over here, but what you don't want to do is your friends start standing over here or go by the home base. And there's also one more thing I need to show you guys for this build. It's actually really important. I can't believe I didn't show it last time. But for your B, come over here to the north, leading up to your home base. Place 2 tiles. You can use 2 tar traps if you want, but you at least use 1, okay? So just use wooden floor spike to slow them down, and the second one, you know, to stop them completely. And wall launchers to throw them back over, because what's going to come over here is your flingers. Only your flingers are going to want to walk around, and there's only 1 to 2, so these traps are highly efficient enough to throw them over, and you'll never have a problem. I learned that the hard way when I was making builds, that I kept having a flinger issue, and I was like, I just don't understand how they're getting to where they're getting. And then I actually looked, and I was like, oh, hey, like, yeah, alright. And I haven't had problems with it. But that's where you want to stand for that build. And then on your devil, you're always just standing by your amplifier. Alright, and the reason why I told you guys to keep those walls is because you don't want them to want to attack through these walls where they're spawning, to come up here, attack that, or, you know, just to get through there and climb over into your amplifier. So since they changed the spawn and you can't just block it off like it used to be, right, just place these 2 walls and they won't ever get broke. And then again, like I said, stand on your amplifier. Stand over by your amplifier, and that's just what leads them to you. And you shouldn't have any lobber or anything, issues like that. But if you do, or if you need somewhere to place your base and you're like, how the do I get up? Well, just jump up with something, right? If you're doing an endurance, you should have one of these weapons by now. And if you haven't, run over to the hill over there and edit both blocks to just be a doorway, and run over here or something. Place your base up top. But if you need to place your base on this, I mean, it's good for recycling, so you should only need it for the south side. Just place it somewhere up here, just to give those walls a little bit of support. And for the south side, as far as the south side goes, this is exactly where I place my base. When I run with friends, I normally place mine right here on this tile, which is right by this cove, so it's like extremely hard to forget where. And then have your friend either place one right behind yours, or right on this corner, and it just gives support to all of that in there, and it can connect around. Don't forget your lobber shield, it's the most important thing. And you don't need a lobber shield on that side, just saying, because it's about 9 tiles plus up 2, so that's about 11 tiles, and flingers aren't even going to make that effort. And for this build, for it to land there, just make sure you have these 2 tiles. I'm not sure if I said that when I went in the build or not. Just place these 2 tiles, place that wall, and have a wall come out. And that's just so that they won't want to attack this wall and try and eventually get out or walk around and attack that wall. And with the sound wall and those wall launchers there, it's not even a problem if they wanted to try. I wouldn't even mind. But that's just so that you can build this in a you know, like a 2x6 type environment and have that room to work with. It's just those 2 tiles right on this side, even with me right now. So you just see this ledge, it's the next 2 tiles. And that's it for that lava ball shift. I'm pretty sure I said that in the last video, but if not, then you guys know now. And I already told you the safe spot for this. It's right up there. And then on E, E's always over by the amplifier, right? You just want to kind of like stand right here and keep an eye on things. And also keep in mind that every time E gets attacked, well, that amplifier in general, this one's next. And I'm not really going to go over my shortcuts because it's not needed, but they're just used to get me around faster. The one you should have is the one over here. This is your other safe place. Guess we want to stand for that amplifier. But anyways, on wave 24, since UFO is on 25, you want to make sure you get over there really quickly, right? And so to do that, because your wave 24 is going to be over here. Come on now. Since your wave 24 will end up being over here, you want to make sure you can get from here all the way over to the UFO amplifier on time. So on these last two tiles, place a boost pad and a jump pad. And that's so you can just stand here. Make sure you actually hit the jump pad, so make sure you're on this half of the tile. And you just want to go over it and hold forward. And it will throw you over here. I've also got this directional pad, so if I wanted, I could hit if I'm a constructor to come over and place my base somewhere, you know, really fast. You know, the place on top up there, or down here, make a tile right here and place it or something. And that way that you could just hit the jump pad and be over here on time. Yep. And then I have shortcuts for random waves like this one. If I needed to get over to H or vice versa, right? Just so I can get around better. It's whatever you guys' preference is, and you'll figure it out the more that you play. But I hope that helped a little bit. You may need to slow the video down, but other than that, you guys should be fine. Just make sure you stand in the right safe places. Make sure you keep your sound effects on so you can hear if lobbers are getting through somewhere or if smashers are charging. Other than that, you should be good to go. Yep. Alright.